Are you the employee everyone loves? The one who never complains, takes on extra work, is always available, is so flexible? But somehow the promotion went to Jake, who does half your work and pushes back on everything. Weird, right? Today, we're talking about why being the easy employee is the fastest way to stay exactly where you are forever. Hey everyone, I'm Michelle and welcome back to the channel where we figure out why doing everything right keeps getting us the wrong results. If you've ever wondered why being the dependable, hardworking employee somehow makes you invisible, this video is for you. So let me guess your situation. You're the person who says yes to everything. You stay late without being asked. You take on projects no one else wants. You never push back on unreasonable deadlines. You don't negotiate. You don't make waves. You're easy to work with. And you're either stuck at the same level for years, or you're watching people with half your work ethic get promoted around you. Meanwhile, you're confused because you thought being a good employee meant being accommodating and flexible and hardworking. You did everything you were told would lead to success, but it didn't. So today we're unpacking why being the workplace cool girl is actually a career limiting strategy, and how being easy sends the message that you're not leadership material. So buckle up, because this one's going to sting. So first, let's define what we're talking about, because the workplace cool girl comes in many forms. The workplace cool girl is the employee who prides herself on being low maintenance, flexible, and easy to work with. She never complains. She takes on extra work without negotiating for more pay. She says yes to unreasonable requests. She doesn't push back on bad ideas. And she makes herself indispensable by being the person who handles everything no one else wants to do. She's reliable, dependable, and hardworking, and she's absolutely shocked when she doesn't get promoted. Here's what this looks like in practice. Your manager asks if you can take on an additional project. You're already drowning, but you say, sure, no problem, because saying no feels impossible. Or someone needs to stay late to finish something, and you volunteer before anyone asks because you want to be seen as a team player. Or you're asked to do work that's below your pay grade, but you do it without complaint because you don't want to seem difficult. Your coworker takes credit for your idea in a meeting. You don't say anything because you don't want to cause drama. You're given an unreasonable deadline. You pull an all-nighter to meet it instead of pushing back on the timeline. So do any of these sound familiar? Well, then congratulations, you're the workplace cool girl, and it's destroying your career. This usually comes from a few places. So maybe you're a woman and you've internalized the message that being difficult means you're a bitch. So you perform agreeable and accommodating to avoid that label. Maybe you grew up learning that your worth comes from being useful, so you make yourself useful at all costs. Maybe you're afraid of conflict, so you avoid it by never pushing back on anything. Or maybe you genuinely believe that if you just work hard enough and prove yourself enough, you'll be rewarded. You won't. You were sold a lie. The lie goes like this: work hard, don't complain, be a team player, and you'll be rewarded. But what actually happens? You work hard, you don't complain, you're a team player, and you become the person they can't promote because you're too valuable where you are. You've made yourself so indispensable at the grunt work level that they can't imagine you anywhere else. You're the reliable workhorse, not the leader. So let's talk about what being the easy employee is actually costing you in concrete terms. First and most important, you're not seen as leadership material, because leaders aren't easy. Leaders push back, they have opinions, they advocate for their teams, they challenge bad ideas, they negotiate, and they set boundaries. When you say yes to everything, when you never push back, when you don't advocate for yourself, you're signaling that you're a follower, not a leader. Your boss isn't thinking, wow, she's so easy to work with, I should promote her. They're thinking, wow, she's so easy with, I should keep her exactly where she is because she's so useful to me. Second, you're completely taken for granted. When you always say yes, when you never push back or complain, your effort becomes invisible. It's like the person who always does the dishes. Nobody notices until they stop. Your hard work isn't special, it's expected. And meanwhile, the person who pushes back sometimes, who says no occasionally, who negotiates, when they say yes, it means something. When they put in extra effort, it gets noticed. You've trained everyone that you'll always do it, so nobody appreciates when you do. Third, you become the office therapist, mediator, and emotional support person. People dump their problems on you, they vent to you, they expect you to smooth over conflicts and manage everyone's feelings. And this is unpaid labor. It's not in your job description. It doesn't show up on performance reviews, but it takes enormous energy and time. And guess what? Emotional labor doesn't get promoted. Leadership does. Fourth, you get stuck doing all the grunt work that nobody else wants to do. The boring tasks, the administrative stuff, the cleanup work, the projects with no visibility. Because you never say no, and someone has to do it. And you're so good at it. Meanwhile, the people who say, that's not really in my wheelhouse, but I'd be happy to take on XYZ, get assigned the work that leads to promotions. You're doing the work that keeps the lights on. They're doing the work that gets them promoted. Fifth, you don't negotiate. Not for salary, not for title, not for resources, not for anything. Because negotiating feels pushy, demanding, difficult. So you accept whatever is offered. You're grateful for it, even when it's below market rate. You think, at least they're giving me something. Meanwhile, your coworkers are negotiating. They're asking for more. They're getting it. And the gap between your compensation and theirs grows wider every year. Finally, you burn out because you're doing your job and everyone else's and all the emotional labor and the grunt work. You're running on empty. And when you burn out, you either leave and they replace you with someone who sets boundaries from day one, or you stay and become a resentful shell of yourself who's too exhausted to even think about career advancement. So let's talk about Jake. You know Jake. We all know Jake. Jake does half the amount of work that you do. Jake pushes back on unreasonable requests and says no when he's at capacity. Jake negotiates. Jake takes credit for his work. He doesn't volunteer for grunt work and speaks up in meetings. And Jake got promoted. Meanwhile, you're still doing the work of three people, never saying no, and wondering what you're doing wrong. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Jake got promoted because he acts like someone who deserves to be promoted. He doesn't say yes to everything, which means when he says yes, it matters. He doesn't take on work below his pay grade, which means he's seen as someone operating at a higher level. He pushes back on bad ideas, which means he's seen as having good judgment. He negotiates, which means he's seen as someone who knows his value. Jake isn't better at the job than you. He's just better at positioning himself for the promotion. And here's the thing about perception. It matters more than reality when it comes to promotions. You might be more skilled, more hardworking, more dedicated, but if the perception is that you're the reliable workhorse who will say yes to anything and no to nothing, you're not getting promoted. Jake might be less skilled, but if the perception is that he's strategic and selective and leadership material, he's getting promoted. This isn't fair, but it's real. And let's be real. There's often a gender component here. Women are socialized to be accommodating and agreeable. Men are socialized to be assertive and confident. So when a woman pushes back, she's difficult. When a man pushes back, he's showing leadership. When a woman negotiates, she's demanding. When a man negotiates, he's knowing his worth. The same behavior gets interpreted differently based on gender, and that's absolutely infuriating. So here's what Jake knows that you don't. Being promotable means being selective, strategic, and willing to advocate for yourself. It means saying no to things that don't serve your career. It means taking on high visibility projects and declining low visibility grunt work. It means making sure people know about your contributions. And it means negotiating for what you want. Jake isn't smarter than you. He just hasn't been socialized to abandon his own interests for everyone else's comfort. Okay, so you've realized being the easy employee is killing your career. Now what? First, you have to start saying no. Not to everything, but strategically. When someone asks you to take on something, your default response should be, let me check my schedule and get back to you. This gives you time to actually assess. Is this work that will advance my career? Is this visible work? Is this even my job? And if the answer is no, you say some version of, I don't have capacity for that right now, but I'd be happy to help you find someone who does. Or, I can do that, but I'll need to deprioritize this other thing. You're not being difficult. You're being strategic about your time and energy. And second, stop volunteering for grunt work. When someone asks for a volunteer to do administrative work and you're not an admin, don't raise your hand. If you're asked to do work below your level, you can say, I think this would be a great opportunity for someone earlier in their career. Would you like me to recommend someone? You're training people about what you do and don't do. So train them well. Third, make your work visible. Stop assuming people know what you're doing. They don't. So send updates to your manager. Speak up in meetings. Take credit for your work. If someone tries to take credit for your idea, say something like, thanks, Sarah. I'm glad you support the approach I proposed last week. This feels uncomfortable if you're used to staying invisible, but do it anyway. Document your wins. Keep a brag file of your accomplishments. Use it in performance reviews and when asking for promotions. Fourth, start pushing back on bad ideas. Tactfully, but firmly. I see where you're going with this, but I'm concerned about the. Have we considered the? You don't have to be confrontational, but you do have to have opinions and express them. Leaders have judgment. To demonstrate judgment, you have to actually judge things. Fifth, negotiate for salary, for title, for resources, for support, for everything. Don't wait for them to offer because they won't. Simply say, I'd like to discuss a salary adjustment to reflect my extended responsibilities. And don't accept the first offer. Say something like, I was hoping for X amount of dollars. Can we get closer to that? So practice this because it will feel terrible at first. And again, do it anyway. You're not being greedy. You're being professional. And finally, be strategic about which projects you take on. Prioritize high visibility work, work that builds new skills, work that connects you to senior leadership, and work that aligns with your career goals. Deprioritize low visibility grunt work, work that keeps you stuck in your current role, work that benefits others but not you, and work that you've already proven you can do. You have limited time and energy, so spend it on work that moves your career forward. And remember, you're not at work to be liked. You're at work to build a career. So act accordingly. All right, let's wrap this up. This week, I want you to do one thing. Say no to something that doesn't serve your career. Just one thing. And practice. Notice that the world doesn't end. Notice that you survive. Notice that maybe, just maybe, people respect you a little more. If this video made you realize you've been the workplace cool girl, hit that like button. Drop a comment and tell me what's one thing you're going to stop saying yes to. And subscribe for more content about building a career without burning yourself out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.